studio apartment, very dilapidated and run down. There are a few things in the room. A very precarious-looking table and 2 chairs are center stage, and there's a mattress in the stage right corner instead of a proper bed. There is a small kitchenette built into the upstage wall, including a banged-up-looking refrigerator and a hot plate. A very old and decrepit guitar sits in the corner beside the bed. There's an ancient cast-iron radiator stage left against the wall. A shelf on the downstage side of the door barely holds an ugly lump of bronze. Other pieces of cheap furniture try and fail to fill up the remaining space. As the scene opens, Jackson is at the open door, stage left, talking to Eugene, his landlord.
Look, this is the last time. If you make me come here again, you're out.
Eugene, come on, man. You know me. How long have you and I...
No, stop. Just stop. You're embarrassing yourself. I heard it already. The well has run dry. No more sick grandparents, hard luck stories, or checks that are in the mail. It's been 3 months. You're not on thin ice, my friend. You're treading water.
I know, and I'm sorry. You think I want to live like this?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry that I've ever let you pull at my heartstrings and beg and plead for more time. Again and again. I should have known better.
Eugene, wait now.
Goodbye, Jackson. There's nothing more to say.
Eugene slams the door in Jackson's face. Jackson stands in place, stunned for a moment, then turns and walks back into the room.
Oh, shit. What the fuck are you gonna do now, Jackson? God, you've really screwed up royally now. Eugene's serious this time.
He goes around the room inspecting his meager possessions.
Maybe I can get a few bucks for this guitar? Oh man, come on. Who the hell are you kidding? I wouldn't be able to sell this for firewood. Besides, if I end up on the street, this may be my only source of income. Oh god. Resources. What do I have? I gotta be able to find something, anything. Come on, think.
He grabs the ugly brass lump from the shelf, stumbling a little as he picks it up, as he always forgets how heavy it is.
Maybe I can try this hunk of shit at the flea market again. Maybe I can con someone into thinking it's a priceless antique. Good thinking, Jackson. Problem solved.
He slams the weight down on top of the rickety table in frustration. To nobody's surprise, the legs buckle and the table collapses.
That's great. That's just fucking great.
Jackson sinks down to the floor with the remains of his broken table.
How does it get to this point, huh? A week goes by without a paycheck, no big deal, not the end of the world. Sure, it hurts a bit, but you got something to get by on. 2 weeks, 3. I used to look at those guys by the bus stop drinking Listerine and saying, how the hell do you end up like that? Where's your high horse now, buddy? You thought you had it all figured out, and now here you are in this rat-infested hellhole, talking to yourself and looking at life on the street straight in the face. It's just like Mikey used to say. Oh, jeez, Mikey. There's a blast from the past. God, it's got to have been, 15 years at least? Funny the way that getting tossed in jail will do to a friendship, huh, Mikey? Guess I kind of saw it was coming, but it's weird to think that your friend from junior high did time for armed robbery. Jewelry, wasn't it? Pretty high-end stuff at that. Boy, I could really do with some of that right now. What's the matter with you? You want to end up like Mikey? Snap out of it. Come back to reality, Jackson.
He rises from the ruins of the table.
The question still remains, though, how do I get myself out of this one?
He scans the room again, looking for inspiration, and finding none.
Shit. What are the odds Mikey has the same phone number?
Scene 2, a day later. There's a knock on the door, and Jackson goes to answer it.
Mikey!
Mikey walks in. Michelle Adams is in her mid-30s, tough, street-smart, but also gregarious and likable. She's been going by Mikey for so long, nobody remembers her real name anymore.
Hey, JJ. Long time no see, buddy.
God, I forgot people used to call me that. I go by Jackson these days.
Oh, Jackson, is it? Well, maybe I should just refer to you as Mr. Jameson since we're being so formal now.
Oh, come on, Mikey, cut it out. I'm still me. Just growing up a bit is all.
So you gonna invite me in, or is there some sort of password necessary to enter Shay Jackson?
No. Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. Come in, Mikey. Have a seat at the...
He waves in the direction of the table, which has been repaired badly, and the 2 equally rickety chairs.
Can I get you a drink or something? I have, water, nice glass of milk.
He goes to the refrigerator.
Maybe there's some juice in the back here somewhere.
Mikey enters the room and sees the squalor.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just a glass of water would be good, JJ. Sorry, Jackson.
She sits tentatively on one of the chairs and glances around.
Huh.
Yeah, no, pretty bad, isn't it?
No, I didn't mean it like that. Well, okay, maybe a little. No offense, man, but this is not exactly the address I expected to find you at. Hell, it's not even the part of town I expected to find you in.
Jackson comes to the table with 2 water glasses.
Well, Southie really is an up-and-coming neighborhood these days. Very trendy. I wanted to get in on the ground floor in Roxbury before gentrification sweeps through here as well. Yeah, no, of course you're right, Mikey. Let's call it what it is, a shithole.
Well, I was gonna go with utilitarian, but yeah, shithole. And fucking freezing. Why is it so cold in here?
It's part of an ongoing tactics battle between the landlord and me. Last week he cut off the radiator to try and freeze me out.
Isn't that illegal?
Yeah, well, so's not paying your rent for 3 months.
Oh,
Yeah. It's been a eventful year.
I'm starting to see that.
You don't want to hear about that, do you? How are you? I mean, look at you. You look exactly the same. No one would ever have guessed at you.
Spent some time as a distinguished guest at the penitentiary system? Something like that? It's okay, man. I was in jail.
Yeah, I mean, it seems rude to just come out and say it, I guess.
Nah, it's true. I mean, 10 years is a lot. It's a big chunk of my life. It's a part of my identity now. Ex-con. But at the same time, it's just like someone hit the pause button on my life for a decade.
Yeah?
When you get out, they just hand you your stuff back that you had when you went in. Like, okay, you've earned your stuff back. Surreal. When you find $20 in the pocket of your winter coat that you haven't worn in 8 months? It's like that. Things you vaguely remember. A phone that's now ancient by comparison to the rest of the world.
She pulls out her phone.
And it's like you all of a sudden realize that the world has passed you by without stopping, and you've just been waiting for your chance to rejoin it again.
You're not kidding about that phone, jeez. You could get a new one, Not that I mind, of course. I'm glad you hung on to it. If you didn't have the same number, I don't think I would have ever found you.
Yeah, maybe it's just me being sentimental in my old age, but I like holding on to this old brick. It reminds me of where I was.
Yeah, I hear you. I got my own brick from the past.
He nods in the direction of the ugly bronze paperweight, which has been returned to the shelf beside the door.
Yeah, I noticed that. What the hell is it?
It's a stupid doorstop. I used to work for this company. It was a pretty big deal. They give the newest employee the shittiest office. Nobody wants it because the door didn't open. They prop it open with this ugly ass hunk of bronze so it can't close. When I was escorted from the premises, I took it with me out of spite, even though it's heavy as anything. I keep it as a reminder of where I was, where I'm going back to. But it sounds like you understand keeping that phone for so long.
Yeah, except mine's a reminder of things that I don't want to go back to.
Like what?
Well, just because my life was on pause doesn't mean that everybody else's was. I screen my calls now. Let everything go to voicemail since I can't see who's calling. There have been 1 or 2 former associates who have reached out, trying to get a feel of what my situation is, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Before the whole jail thing, I was good. I was in demand. Seems that people with my set of skills that I have are still in demand. That much at least hasn't changed.
Wow. So, what kind of things are they asking? Are they job offers, whatever you call them?
JJ, come on. Please don't make me stoop to saying something like, if you're a cop, you have to tell me, because that shit only happens on TV, and it ain't true anyways.
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm just, interested.
Really. I may not have seen you for a while, but I distinctly remember someone who looked and sounded an awful lot like you being very disapproving of my, how did you put it? My crowd, in what I like to refer to as the before times. You made a big deal about not wanting to know any details.
No, I guess that's true. Your memory is as good as ever, I see.
Yeah. And I seem to remember an ambitious up-and-comer who had a lot of promise and was going places. And I don't think this is the place they were referring to.
Okay, that's fair. I'm sorry about the ham-fisted attempt at subtlety. I'm not used to talking to...
Criminals?
Just come on, Mikey.
I'm sorry too. I guess prison gives you a lot of threat detectors and they're not always accurate.
Well, I guess I better be straight with you and just come out and say it. I didn't just call you to reconnect over lukewarm water.
I was wondering about that. Good quality water, though. Can hardly taste the rust.
Mikey, cut it out. I'm trying to be serious. I don't know how to be subtle. God knows I need money. I'm pretty bad off.
Last I'd heard, you were doing pretty well. Comfortable.
I was. Some stuff happened.
So you alluded to.
Look, it's a long story. I made a decision based on a misguided sense of morality, and the consequences that led me to this.
Huh. Sounds like quite an interesting story.
It is, but I just don't have the energy to tell it at the moment. Mikey, I'm desperate. I'm seriously looking at eviction. I'm looking at living on the street.
Oh, shit, JJ, I'm sorry. I was so flippant before. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really have that much though, right? Like, I'm getting by and I could probably lend you a few bucks, but I really don't have bailout money.
Yeah, I figured as much, but you always did seem to have a talent to be able to make money when necessary.
JJ, you know where that money came from.
Yeah, sure I know. And I know that I used to look down on you for it, but shit, Mikey, it's awful hard to look down on anyone from down where I am.
Wait, let me get this straight. What do you want from me exactly?
Mikey, I need money. I can't live on the street. I have no source of income and a shit ton of debt. You know, people who are good at getting money fast. I want to be introduced to these people, and I want to tell them to their face that I need to make money, and I need to do it now. I'm done. I'm done living like a Boy Scout and letting my morals and scruples make my decisions for me. Look where it's fucking got me so far. I can't eat good deeds. I can't leverage my hard luck story into missing another month of rent. I'm out of options.
JJ, you don't know what you're asking for.
Yes, I do. I'm deadly serious, Mike.
That may be, but I don't think you realize what will happen to you as a result. No, let me finish. If you do this, you take a step that you cannot undo. The stark reality is that you're likely to get caught. You're likely to do time. Think about that. I may look the same as I used to in your eyes, but I'm different. I can never go back to my old self. I don't need to tell you that things happen in prison, and God only knows how much worse you'd have it. I actually got roofied once. Someone slipped me something in the dining hall. Luckily, they messed up the dose, and I pretty much passed out face first in the mashed potatoes. No idea what happened until I woke up in the infirmary 12 hours later. Had the dose been right, I would have been all alone and totally helpless for whatever someone wanted to do. Never found out who did it, and I consider myself lucky.
Mikey,
And let's just say you do get away with it. You get something out of it. You will be a criminal for all your life. You flinched when I said that word before. That would be you. Even if you get caught, it doesn't matter. You know what you did. You know that you did it. And you will have to live with that. Do you know how many people commit one crime and then just walk away? Practically none. Because they always need more. They need the rush, or they need the money, or both. Do you think you're the only desperate person out there? What happens when the money runs out? Just one more job?
You're right, Mikey, okay? You got me. I'm no criminal, but money talks, and I'm fighting against people who are big, connected, have resources, and they can afford to starve me into submission until they get their way. If I had the money, I could fight back, clear my name, and get back what's mine. But there's a window, and if I can't squeeze through it by the time it shuts, it's too late, and I'll never be able to recover. If I have to steal to take these bastards on, I can live with that in my conscience. And honestly, prison sounds better than living on the streets in a fucking cardboard box with no options left. A roof and 3 meals a day? That's better than some days I have now. That's where I'm at, Mikey. That's how desperate I am. Prison is better than this.
Shit, JJ. What have you gotten yourself into?
Maybe I'll tell you someday, Mikey, when I can look back on this as an unpleasant memory rather than a stark reality.
There's nothing I can say that would make you change your mind.
No, I thought about this long and hard.
Shit, JJ. I can't just let you run amok among the criminal element out in our fair city. You're helpless. What did you think? You'd find the sketchiest looking gangbanger you could find and ask, "Can I do some crimes, please?"
Of course not.
Relax, JJ. Just joking. Don't take it personally, but if you're going to do this, really do this, you're going to need help.
Yeah, I figured. Know a guy?
Yeah? You're looking at her.
Come again?
I may not have been entirely straight with you before. I purposefully made it sound like I had left that life behind. Look, I meant every word I said before. Prison is hell. And I will never go back. No matter what. I also meant it when I said the crime is a lifestyle. Let's just say that a certain subset of my activities would be frowned upon by my parole officer.
You're still in the game.
Oh, God. This is why you need me. You're hopeless. I can't in good conscience let you do this on your own since you're being so stubborn. I just hope that it's worth it to you, and I expect you to make it up to me.
Yeah, sure, Mikey. Of course. You know me.
I thought I did. Now I'm not so sure. Anyway, you really dropped a bunch of shit on me, so I'm gonna need some time to sort out some details. See a few people I know. You gonna be okay in a few days?
I may need to hide from the landlord for a bit, but yeah, I should have a few days.
Here.
She pulls out a wad of cash.
Shut up! I swear to God, do not say a word. Just take it. You'll be paying me back later, remember? Pay your damn rent, get the guy off your back. I can't have you distracted.
I don't know what to say, thanks.
I hope you'll still be thankful when this is all over. Keep your head down. I'll be back.
Scene 3, Jackson's apartment a few days later. Jackson and Mikey are sitting at the table, surrounded by papers.
Diamonds? Isn't that a bit cliche?
Jesus, listen to you. Not even one crime under your belt and you're getting picky?
Oh no, it's kind of cool in a way. A diamond heist. Didn't think those were still a thing.
There was actually a very successful heist in the Antwerp Diamond District in 2007. The thieves made off with around 100 million, most of which is still unrecovered to this day. Only one person ever went to jail.
Oh shit, really?
Of course, they planned it for an entire year, had an inside guy, and built a replica vault to practice on.
Oh, well, we don't have any of those things, do we?
No. But that doesn't matter, because I'm not talking about the kind of diamonds that go in a ring. They're flashy, expensive, dangerous, and extremely well guarded. Besides, they're pretty much useless.
Come again?
Diamonds are overvalued as jewelry. They're not particularly rare compared to other gems. There's no real reason why they should cost more than rubies or emeralds, for instance.
Mikey, last time I checked, diamonds were worth a hell of a lot more.
They used to be rare, until the late 1800s when De Beers stumbled on an absolute buttload of diamonds in South Africa. They knew that if they flooded the market with them, they would lose all their value. So they kept tight hold on how many diamonds would be released. They also ran what would be considered the most successful advertising campaign of all time in 1938 to convince Americans that buying anything other than a diamond engagement ring would make you look like a cheapskate. Up until that point, other gems were primarily used instead. Ever since then, diamond has been the gold standard, if you will.
Are you serious?
Yeah, look it up. It's a crazy story. Diamonds' value as jewelry has been crazy inflated, but diamonds are amazingly useful in other ways.
God, Mikey, enough with the lecture. You've dazzled me with your brilliance. Just tell me.
Industrial diamonds.
You lost me again.
Diamonds are the hardest natural substance in the world. Even a sheltered brat like you has got to know that. The vast majority of diamonds are not even gem quality. They're used for machinery and tools. Imagine a cutting tool lined with diamond dust, or even a very small, sharpened diamond teeth. Goes through concrete like butter. Steel? No problem. Some of these blades could even cut through bulletproof glass. Now, surely you can appreciate how useful this kind of equipment might be of interest to someone with a criminal bent.
Whoa, I had no idea.
Yep.
So we're using diamond tools to steal diamonds? That's almost poetic.
Jesus Christ. Forget about the fucking diamond rings, okay? This is literally your first crime. We are not stealing fucking jewelry. We're after the diamond cutting blades. If you're gonna steal something, you also have to be able to sell it, or you're kind of missing the point, aren't you? I found a guy who'd be willing to pay a good price for them, no questions asked. It's also better because the level of security for diamond equipment is nowhere near what it would be for jewelry. And on top of all that, it's Patriots Day this weekend.
And why is that so important?
How long have you lived here, JJ? Don't you celebrate Patriots Day?
Fuck no, it's usually a gong show. Downtown is a disaster zone all weekend because...
Of the marathon?
Oh, wait a minute. You want to rob this place during the marathon? Are you nuts?
Probably.
But why? Of all the days of the year, every cop and their brother is going to be on patrol, especially after 2013.
That's the beauty of it. All the cops in the city are on high alert for terrorists along the marathon route through downtown, while we're helping ourselves to the finest diamond equipment that money can buy in the warehouses by the tracks.
So all we're going to steal is some saw blades?
Maybe some drill bits if they have some.
But that's all.
Look, JJ, most crimes are of the low sophistication variety. They're also low risk. I have planned it for a time I consider particularly low risk, and I can get a hefty sum for this shit. Let's not lose sight of why you're doing this.
Yeah, of course, shit. Listen to me, a few days and I'm getting delusions of grandeur. Mikey, look, I really appreciate this.
Yeah. So we split the profit 80-20.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'll fucking excuse you. You have a problem with that? What exactly are you bringing to the table here besides being a goddamn liability? Look, sorry, JJ. I want you to take this seriously. I'm being hard on you on purpose. But you have to see it from my perspective. You don't know what you're doing. If it comes down to it, you might panic. I'm not trying to cheat you. This is standard. You get paid based on your involvement. I promise you that this will be enough to dig you out of this hole you've gotten yourself into.
I know that you don't think much of me, Mikey. No, don't bother. I know. You think that I had it easy and messed up, and that despite all this, I still look down on you and consider myself above you. I don't. I'm starting to realize what it takes for you to survive this long. The strength and ruthlessness it takes.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to be selfish and look out for yourself, you know?
For sure. I know you're taking a risk working this with me in tow, but I promise you, you won't regret helping me. And I'm sorry I bitched about the 80-20 thing. That's more than fair.
Okay. I think we're on the same page here.
Good. So what's the plan?
Honestly, JJ, the less you know, the better. Plausible deniability and all that. You know when it's going down, and you have a pretty good idea as to where. You leave the sticky little details to me. All I need from you is your total, unquestioning commitment. If I say jump, you...
Say how high?
No! You just fucking jump. Without attitude, and most importantly, without any questions. For the next few days, be normal. Go about your routine as usual. Did you pay your rent?
Yeah.
What'd you tell the landlord?
Then I got lucky off some scratch-offs.
Huh. That's okay for the short term. You're gonna need to be careful in future, though. Nothing makes people more suspicious than some dirt poor loser who's all of a sudden rolling in dough. More criminals get caught after the fact because they lack the self-control not to blow all their cash and bring attention to themselves. Got it?
Sure, I can handle that.
No banks. No big purchases. Have an explanation as to how you can pay your rent on time again. These are important things you have to do
I
beforehand.
got it, Mikey. I've seen Breaking Bad, you know.
Oh, you've seen. Oh, good. Thank God. And here I was thinking I was dealing with an amateur.
But honestly, Mikey, there isn't anything else I need to do. It feels kind of anticlimactic.
Enjoy it while you can, JJ. I guarantee you the day before you'll be shitting bricks, and the day of you're going to feel like you're having a heart attack. You may even try to back out.
I would never.
Be careful with the word never. I've heard it a lot, and it's rarely ever accurate.
I don't know what I can say, Mikey. I promise I won't let you down.
Okay. We're good. Be ready to go at 9 a.m. on Monday. You won't be able to get in touch with me before then, so this is your last chance. You're sure?
Mikey, I've never been more sure about anything in my life.
Scene 4. Jackson's apartment. All the furniture is pushed against the walls, and there are piles of cash of different denominations lying on the floor. Jackson and Mikey are on opposite ends of the room, counting separate piles. A large empty duffel bag sits on the table.
98, 99, 100. Holy fuck!
JJ, can we please just go 5 minutes without your tiny little brain exploding?
Mikey, do you have any idea how much money this is?
I do have a rough idea, yes.
But look, have you ever seen this much money in your life?
Well,
Well, you don't count. I've never seen this much money in one place at one time. Holy fuck!
I'll restart the countdown again.
Come on, Mikey. I know you like to play it cool and act like this is just business, but...
I know. I'm excited too. But I'll be a lot happier when we get this split up and go our separate ways.
Getting sick of my company, are we?
It's nothing like that. This part is dangerous.
Oh, come off it, Mikey. It was a perfect job. In and out with 1,000 saw blades couldn't have taken more than 20 minutes, and no one was wiser. You have to admit, I did pretty good.
You were useful. I'll go that far.
Useful. I assume that's high praise from you.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
I know you said I'd be terrified, but we were in and out so fast I barely even thought about it. See, I told you that you wouldn't have to worry about me.
I'm glad you were right.
I still can't believe we got so much for saw blades.
Diamond saw blades. I'm sure they'll be quite useful in the wrong hands. If they're willing to give us $250 per, you know they've got something big planned for them.
And 50K is mine, right?
Yes, JJ. You did earn it after all. I hope your reputation is worth $50K to you.
I think I'll live. Man, I feel like a sucker working the 9 to 5 for so long.
You're still on a high, JJ. I've seen it before. Just be careful when it comes crashing down.
Come on, Mikey, stop being such a downer. We did good.
We did okay.
Damn straight we did.
Jackson takes some bills and makes it rain.
God, I've always wanted to do that.
Quit fooling around and get back to work.
You got it, boss.
There's a knock on the door. Both Jackson and Mikey freeze.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. Who even knows I live here?
There's another knock, louder.
Mr. Jackson, Boston PD. Could you open the door, please?
Jackson freezes, eyes a mile wide. He barely manages to squeak out the words.
Holy shit.
Mikey, by contrast, is a whirlwind of activity, sprinting around the room, gathering up armfuls of money and dumping it in the bag as she goes by. As she passes by Jackson, she slaps him upside the head and whisper screams at him, "Fucking move!" Jackson snaps out of his reverie and helps Mikey. As they're collecting, the cop outside pounds on the door.
Mr. Jackson, police! Open the door now!
The last of the money is stuffed in the bag, and Mikey takes the bag and dives headlong for the bathroom, the only enclosed room in the studio apartment. Jackson runs to the front door, takes a quick breath, and opens it.
Oh, hello, officer. Sorry it took me a sec to get to the door.
Why are you out of breath, sir?
I actually have a condition, sleep paralysis. Yeah, when I'm sleeping soundly and I'm woke up suddenly, sometimes my body just freezes. It takes a huge effort just to get moving again. That's why it took so long.
Huh. Sounds like a rare condition.
More common than you'd think.
Really? You mind if I come in?
Sure, no problem. Have a seat.
He waves at the table and chairs that are pushed right up against the wall.
Bit of strange furniture arrangement you got here.
Jackson looks around and realizes all the furniture is right against the wall still.
Oh, yeah, just doing a spot of redecorating.
I thought you were asleep.
Figured I'd get a little shut-eye before putting everything back. So, officer, what can I do for you?
I'm just here to make some routine inquiries, sir. There was a robbery yesterday. Quite a lot of industrial equipment was stolen. Items that would have high resale value.
You don't say.
With these type of things, we look at an MO to try to determine the cause of the crime.
I'm sorry, what? The what?
Oh, it stands for modus operandi. It just means the techniques or method used to actually commit a crime. Career criminals all have a distinct style. It's a fingerprint, really. You'll learn to spot it almost immediately.
Really? I had no idea.
Oh, yes. And that's the reason I'm here today. The MO used to perpetrate this robbery is a very close match for one Michelle Adams.
Who?
She usually goes by Mikey.
Oh, Mikey! Really? Holy shit, that's a blast from the past.
So you do know it then.
Well, yeah, but from years ago. We met in junior high. I haven't seen Mikey in, oh man, probably a good 15 years. I thought that...
Yes.
Well, I heard a rumor that she was, in jail.
She was, until recently. Released, time served. But she had a big enough resume before she went in that I recognized the scene as soon as I got there.
Ah, shit. I always liked Mikey, but I could tell that she was well.
There are some people that jail doesn't deter. They get out and they slide right back into the lifestyle. Just can't give it up.
But why ask me? You have to know that I haven't seen her in forever.
Well, it seems that Miss Adams picked up a few tricks of the trade during her incarceration. She's out of contact with her old buddies and lying low. Nobody seems to know where she is. I'm checking out anybody who used to know her well, playing a hunch that maybe she'll contact somebody.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. She's barely a memory at this point. I have no idea where she could be. God even knows if she's even in town.
Oh, she is. I know it. It's only a matter of time until I track her down.
I'm sorry I couldn't be of any help.
Take my card. If you see or hear anything...
You'll be the first to know.
Okay, great.
He gets up to leave.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Jackson. Good luck with the...
Looks at the furniture.
Thanks, officer. You have a good day now.
Jackson closes the door softly, leans against it for a second, and slowly walks to the middle of the room. Suddenly his legs collapse and he sprawls out on the floor, breathing heavily and groaning. He stays like this for a moment, but suddenly remembers.
Oh shit, Mikey!
He runs to the door of the bathroom and rips it open, running in.
Mikey!
Then Jackson returns to the room with the duffel bag and a note.
Reading
Reading the note aloud.
Slipped out window, had to leave money. Be back tomorrow. Keep your head down. Holy shit, holy fuck.
Jackson sinks to the floor again with the bag of money and the note.
Oh shit, Mikey.
Scene 5. Jackson is alone in the apartment. All the furniture has been returned to normal. Jackson is sitting on the bed, waiting. He's wearing the same clothes, and they're rumpled and creased. The bag of money sits beside him. There's a knock on the door. He snaps out of his reverie and bounces the door, opening it a crack.
Oh shit, Mikey!
He opens the door and Mikey comes in, quickly shutting the door behind her.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that cop even knew that I was feeding him a line.
I heard most of it before I shimmied out the window. Fuck. I remember that guy. Who knew he'd still have a hard-on for me after all this time?
Well, it was a little rough, but I think he believed me. He hasn't tried to come back or anything.
I didn't see anybody following me here either. I think we're safe for now.
Man, is it always like this?
Not always, but a surprising amount of time, yeah. No matter how much you plan, there's always something that can go wrong. Pretty sure I warned you about that.
Probably, yeah, but we fucking did it, Mikey. Dodged a bullet and everything.
For now. Let's split the money and get going. You got a plan?
Yeah, I was thinking about...
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Better that way.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah, that makes sense. So that means we might not see each other for a while.
Probably not, if all goes well.
Makes sense. Well, before you grab the cash and go, how about a quick drink?
JJ.
Come on, it'll just take a second. I took the liberty of taking my $50K out of the bag and leaving your share in there. Hey, don't look at me like that. I know what would happen if I tried to cheat you. Go on, look.
He points at the bag. Mikey inspects the bag.
Seems legit. Fuck it. Okay. One drink. Make it fast. I'll have one of your finest rusty waters, please.
Oh, I think I can do better than that.
He goes to the fridge and pulls out a bottle of champagne.
That's more like it.
Where the fuck did you get that from? You went out after I told you to stay put and bought...
Whoa. Chill, Mikey. I bought this days ago in anticipation of our success. It's been waiting ever since.
Cocky bastard.
Well, with you in my corner, how could I lose?
He digs out some battered mugs from the cupboard and pours 2 generous portions of champagne. Mikey sits at the table.
I don't think I've ever had champagne before.
Then take my word for it that this is excellent.
He joins her at the table and hands her a glass.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
They both take a big sip.
Christ. It tastes awful. Why do people like this?
Yeah, acquired taste, I guess. Maybe you can acquire some more with your riches. Get a taste for it.
200K doesn't go as far as you'd think, JJ.
True. I was just thinking that last night after you left. I guess it all kind of hit me for the first time when that cop showed up. How much I risked doing this, and all for 50K, a year's salary.
Sure better than living on the street, though, huh?
And yet all last night I kept thinking, what happens after that 50K's gone? What then?
Jackson, I warned you.
And I listened. I took you seriously. I knew what I was getting into. I knew I wouldn't be able to take it. That's what I thought.
What are you...
Mikey, I thought I was going to die last night. I swear to God, I thought my heart was going to explode or a vessel in my brain was going to pop. For hours I couldn't move. I was just paralyzed. I kept thinking of going to jail. What would they do to me there? Fuck, I can't do that. I'm just currency in there.
Mikey tries to push her chair back from the table. She finds the actions very difficult to do, as all of a sudden she's very woozy. She tries to say something, but no intelligible words come out.
Sit still, Mikey. Don't try to get up. I'm pretty sure I got the right dose of roofies in that drink, but the guy I bought them from last night was awful sketchy. What a crummy neighborhood this is.
Mikey tries to speak again, to no avail.
All I could think about was how my life was going to be now. Always with my head on a swivel, paranoid about everything, and all because you couldn't resist to do the job the way you'd always done it. Did you hear him? Your M.O. was as clear as a fingerprint. They knew it was you. They would catch you eventually, and you'd go back to jail. But first you would talk. I mean, it's only natural, right? Cop, a bargain, try and get some time taken off, still have a life left after you get out. And all it takes is turning in your buddy Jackson, who was fucking desperate, who needed the money so bad he took a measly 50K to be an insurance policy for you in case shit went bad. Maybe I could leave, but the money wouldn't last long. If only I thought I could just have a bit more, then I could really leave. Just get on a plane and go. No one would miss me. No one knows I met up with you here. Who would suspect me? I've fallen off the face of the earth anyways. And this way, I just start again. Who needs to rebuild a life when you can make a shiny new one? Yeah, 250K doesn't last long here, but oh man, will it go far. Well, you don't need to know where. Plausible deniability, you know.
Mikey makes a desperate lunge, eyes wide as saucers, but only manages to fall out of her chair.
But I knew you'd just turn me in. Yeah, you'd rat me out without a second thought, so I had to drug you. You told me how effective it was, remember? For the next few hours, you're not going to be able to tell up from down. That gives me a window. I've got a flight booked already for today. All I got to do is call the cops as I'm leaving and leave an anonymous tip that I saw you passed out in the street. By the time you come down, I'll be long gone, and you can tell them all about me all you want. Maybe they'll even believe that a hardened ex-con got taken out by some nobody without a criminal record. They're probably going to think you're trying to weasel out of it. You'll swear I have the money, and they won't believe you. Hey, maybe you'll even get off if they can't find it. Shit, didn't even think about that. Here.
He takes a wad of cash and stuffs it in her hoodie.
Maybe they could trace the serial number or something. Fuck if I know. It's just in my interest if you aren't able to try and track me down. Nothing personal, Mikey. Honest, you warned me. You said I'd be a different person if I went through with this, and there was no going back. I sat here and I looked at all this money and thought about what it represented. A second chance. You were right. I can't go back. And I can't go to prison. This is the only way. I'll always remember what you did for me. Maybe I'll even write them a letter in a few years admitting my guilt when I'm down the road safe. Maybe I owe you that much, but let's face it, Mikey, you were on the road right back to prison with or without me. You always did hang out with a bad crowd. I can't have you dragging me down with you when you gotta go. I'm not like you. I'm not part of your world, like you said. Sometimes you gotta be selfish and look after yourself.
He glances at his watch.
Well, just about time for me to get going. I'll drop you off a few alleys down and then get out of your hair. Come on.
He hoists her off the ground and wraps her arm around his neck like she was drunk and he's helping her to go home. He picks up the duffel bag with the money in his free hand, putting him off balance for a second. Then they both proceed slowly towards the door. As they reach the door, Jackson reaches up to open the door using the hand holding the duffel bag. Mikey musters up all her remaining coordination and drops her entire body weight on Jackson. Partly out of surprise, and partly because he's off balance, Jackson loses his footing, stumbles across the floor, and trips, falling headfirst right into the cast iron radiator beside the door. There's a loud crack. He drops the bag of money, which opens and releases a rain of loose bills and a few piled stacks onto the floor. Mikey has meanwhile fallen to the floor. After a few attempts, she manages to get to her hands and knees. The shelf that is holding Jackson's doorstop has fallen to the ground. Jackson moans quietly. He's still alive. The big bronze doorstop has fallen near Mikey. She sees it, lifts it up over her head unsteadily, and looks at Jackson.
Nothing personal.
She half drops, half swings a heavy paperweight down, hitting Jackson on the head again. He stops moaning and lies still. Panting, Mikey crawls on her hands and knees to the open door. As she goes through, she takes one last look back at the money spilled out on the floor. As she does this, a police siren is heard in the distance, and Mikey crawls through the door, off stage.